How's everyone doing? It's Dollar Blu-ray time again at the Dollar Tree. And if you picked up any movies at the Dollar Tree, definitely let me know what you got. There was 4 I was really looking for that I saw other people pick up. And I only got one of the 4. I checked a couple Dollar Trees. And actually, I think I checked a few. My local one didn't have any. The next closest one didn't have any. So I don't know if they just aren't getting them. They're not putting them out. They don't know. A lot of times people work at stores. They don't know what's going on in their own stores. You know, turnover rate's high in a place like that. Or either, you know, somebody's buying all of them and trying to resell them. I'm not sure. So if anybody had a chance to pick up a Guy Thing, Holiday Inn, or Wish Upon, if your local Dollar Tree has extras, or if you picked up extras, let me know, because those are the ones I was looking for. But I did pick up 9 right here, and there was one I was really excited for. And there's just a bunch of other ones I picked up because they're $1, and why the heck not? But let's go ahead and get into it. 9 pickups again. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies. Kind of, usually I show the other way, but I want this to be mysterious. But if you've seen any of them, let me know what you think of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. And again, if you picked any movies up at the Dollar Tree, let me know what you got. What was your best find? And some of these might not be that well known. Again, I haven't heard of a bunch of them myself, but sometimes I find some hidden gems that way, and I think it's worth the risk, some blind buys, especially at this price point. First up is one of the ones that I wanted the most. Really happy to pick this one up, and that's 99 Homes. I remember seeing the trailer for this and always wanted to check it out, and you know, put on my wish list, and then, you know, more stuff comes out and stuff gets pushed down the wish list, so that's what happened here. But very happy to finally get this one. Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon, and Laura Dern, and Gree is the only game in town. He's evicted by Michael Shannon, Andrew Garfield is, and then he's forced to work for him to try to get his home back, and just kind of spirals from there. Working from him, he finds the situation grows more brutal and dangerous than he ever imagined. So I'm intrigued. I like the cast. It looked like it was going to be very dramatic, intense, and palpable, scenes like that, and something that was really poignant at the time with everybody, you know, the housing market, and, you know, people not, you know, Fannie Mae and not being able to afford everything, and so it was very relevant for the times. It's interesting to see a lot of these ones. This is Broad Green. I remember there's a few releases from them at the Dollar Tree. Next up is another Broad Green release, and this is a movie that I'm not familiar with, just getting started. It's surprising given the cast and director. It's directed by Ron Shelton, whose directorial debut was Bull Durham. He also directed Tin Cup, which has Rene Russo in it, and the cast here is awesome. I would give this a chance right off the bat, but I've never really heard of this one before, which is surprising. Morgan Freeman, Tommy Lee Jones, and Rene Russo. Morgan Freeman owns a resort, the Villa Capri, and he has a mysterious past. And Tommy Lee Jones is I think a ex-military charmer, and he goes there, and they kind of like compete for Rene Russo, and then they have to kind of like team up together to figure out who's trying to kill Morgan Freeman and save the resort. So it sounds like it's going to be comedic and intriguing, and hopefully they'll have good cast chemistry. I like the cast. That's the main driving force, as well as the director. And next up is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which has the digital copy. Some of these, I think this might have been the only one here that I got with a digital copy, but in the past I've picked up ones and I've sold the digital copies for more than the cost of the Blu-ray, so it turned out to be a great deal. But this one was actually really entertaining. This is actually a remake. I think the original was from like the 40s, but this is directed by Ben Stiller, and I just remember the cinematography being amazing. Just such a great escapism here. It's basically him having this fantasy, a world, dreamlike escape, and just doing all these different things, you know, heroism, romance, all these different aspects, adventure. It was just an amazing escapism film, and great performances here, cinematography as well. I was blown away by this one, and I'm looking forward to revisiting it. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Next up is The Adventurer, The Curse of the Midas box. I remember actually getting an opportunity to review this and passing on it just because I wasn't too sure about the synopsis. I think I was just busy at the time, but this was an RLJ Entertainment release, and I figured it was there, it was $1. I was like, oh, maybe, you know, it's serendipitous. I passed on it before, now it's right here. They had a bunch of them. I was like, why not? I'll give it a chance. And the cast was intriguing. I like Sam Neill a lot. You also have Lena Headey and Michael Sheen. If few other recognizable people on here. Looks like it's going to be a fantasy adventure movie. Mariah Mundy's life is turned upside down. She's 17, her parents vanish, and the young brother's kidnapped. So she finds this hidden realm of child-stealing monsters and deadly secrets, along with a lost artifact that grants limitless wealth, but also devastating supernatural power. Supernatural power, devastating, we'll see. Sounds a pretty amazing artifact right there. So, so it looks like there is going to be, a lot of intrigue and fantasy, mystery aspects going on here. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be visually stunning as well. So why not? I passed on it before. I could have gotten it for a review for $1. I figured, you know what, maybe it's time to give this one a chance. Next up, a lot of times when I get at the Dollar Tree, I see all the Blu-rays, I'm just like, I get excited. It's like, oh, $1, why not? In the past, when like Blockbuster closed down, I got a bunch of movies for $1, and then I just didn't end up watching, just sat for a while. I'm going to have a more concerted effort to actually sit down and watch these ones. Because I'm not trying to keep movies just to keep them. I'm way out of space. You see the 2 bookcases behind me? I've got 9 total. They're all 6.5 feet tall from IKEA. And I have piles all around me on the floor, so I just don't have any room. Space is at a premium, and I don't want to keep anything in my collection that I can't see myself rewatching again. But next up is American Pie presents The Book of Love. I like the main American Pie films. Big fan of that franchise. And I remember seeing parts of one of the other spin-off ones, which didn't star like any of the big main stars. And this one looks like it's going to be the same kind of thing. Eugene Levy is like the only one here from the main cast that appears. And I guess it's basically high school buddies find the Book of Love. And I guess it's penned by some of the alumni, and they try to lose their virginity to the girls of their dreams. So it's going to be raunchy, crazy, comedy, romance aspect going on. There's unrated version, and then the rated version. I don't know why you'd want the rated version for a movie like this, but there we go. American Pie, Book of Love. Why the heck not? $1. Next up is one that I've never heard of. Actually, the next few are ones I've never heard of. Very Sordid Wedding, a film by Del Shores. This is from Gravitas Ventures. And I remember getting a Gravitas Ventures release for review a while back, and I think it was Burn on Demand kind of deal. And I wonder if that's the same thing here. But yeah, it says marriage equality comes to a small town in Texas. A serial killer, drag queens, and a dysfunctional family collide, driving toward an explosive night as a memorial service at the bar and an anti-equality rally at the church go both off the rails. So I'm kind of intrigued by that. And then some of the people involved in here too, Caroline Ray and a few other recognizable people in here have me kind of intrigued for it. So I figured, why the heck not? Is that Whoopi Goldberg in there? It looks like Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know why she wouldn't be like one of the first people shown on there or listed. Yeah, I don't know, it sounds kind of intriguing, dysfunctional, crazy. So I'm gonna give it a fair chance right there. Next up is Home Run Showdown. It looks kind of like Bad News Bears-esque. Matthew Lillard and Dean Cain, I guess, are brothers. Dean Cain made it to the majors. Matthew Lillard was a minor league wash-up, it says right there. And he's teaming up with a young kid who couldn't make the youth league baseball team. So he decided to start his own team. And he's going to be the coach, and he has to face off against his brother, who is like a rival team. So it sounds very formulaic, but maybe it'll be heartwarming. I like the cast in here: Matthew Lillard, Dean Cain, Annabeth Gish, and then you have Barry Bostwick as Big Al right there. So I like sports movies, and I like a lot of these sports comedies and teaching life lessons and things like that. Next up is The Narrows with Kevin Zegers, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Sophia Bush. It's interesting to me. I always think about he's come so far. He's done so many roles. I think he's a legendary actor. I'm a big fan of Vincent D'Onofrio, not Kevin Zegers. I'm talking about Vincent D'Onofrio here. But he did Full Metal Jacket the same year that he did Adventures in Babysitting, which he had a small role in that, but he played the mechanic, garage owner, or he looked like Thor. I thought that was very funny. He's given so many amazing performances throughout his career. But for me, the one that's defining that I always think of with Vincent D'Onofrio is Full Metal Jacket. Such an amazing film. I think the first half is stronger, but I still think the film overall is excellent. But this is basically about a kid who has to work for the mob to pay his tuition at a Manhattan university, and he gets deeper involved there, and I guess things get more dangerous. And it's a real life portrait of a young man torn between his traditional Italian American neighborhood and the elite Manhattan world just across the Verrazano. So I'm intrigued in this one. I like the leads right there. Next up is Master Harold and the Boys with Freddie Highmore and Ving Rhames. This is from 2010. I guess this is based on a famous Broadway play. It's a set in apartheid South Africa, and 17-year-old Hallie right there is at home, and he has two middle-aged black servants, and they're just talking about their life and their memories and stuff like that. And then he gets news that his father is coming back. His father is coming home from the hospital, and he's an invalid alcoholic, and he basically gets upset and takes his rage out on the two servants right there. And it looks like this is going to be very dramatic and emotional. So looking forward to checking it out. So there you go. There's the 9 Blu-rays right there. If you've seen them, definitely let me know what you think of them. Let me know which is your favorite from here. Let me know which I should watch first, because I haven't seen any of these. And let me know if you picked up any movies at the Dollar Tree, the Blu-rays or DVDs for that matter. There are some ones that only have DVD release, like Rookie of the Year. I actually want to pick that up. How does that not have a Blu-ray release by this time? It's crazy to me. It's a classic. I love that one. Great baseball comedy, coming of age movie. Definitely deserves a Blu-ray release. But yeah, let me know if you have any extras at your Dollar Tree that you'd be able to help me with for a guy thing, Wish Upon, and Holiday Inn as well. Leave me all those comments down below, and I hope everybody's doing well. Take care. And I just dropped the movies. I'm an idiot.